just like number 1, Cumberland number 2 was in a company town. And it should be this way, just past the big mound of coal on the left-hand side. So that's looking back at the mine. Go over the little hill, and this is the town site. A little bit of foundations over there. Let's go check them out. I have to dub over the rest of this. The wind picked up and the audio was terrible. So you get to put up with me for a little bit more. Those first foundations had to do something with a mine. I think it was a fan house. And here is number 2 town site. Even from the ground, it was hard to find stuff. There's a lot of tin, a lot of wood. You can tell that it was a settlement there. There's some ruins, not very much. But unlike number 1, you can't see the streets laid out. You can't drive on the streets. You can't tell where anything was. I could not find the company store or the hall. And I didn't realize the hall was on the west side of the highway. But still, there's not a lot to see at number 2. Honestly, I don't think it's worth visiting. I did it. I'm trying to document this stuff. I love this type of stuff. But I think you'll be disappointed with number 2. This is Google Maps of number 2. You can see 189 going through there. There some houses a couple blocks west of the highway. Most of it was on the east side of the highway. Even on the satellite images, it's kind of hard to see where the streets were laid out. The black dots inside the blocks there, that's where the houses were. And yeah, it's much more difficult to see than at number 1. This is a map of number 2. The area of where the hall and stuff was, that's actually west of 189. And the company store and the school is clear down closer to the creek. Number 2 was bigger than number 1, but there were 3 mines close to number 2, so that would make sense that number 2 is a little bigger. Comparing the map and Google Maps, I can find where the company store and stuff was. If you count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks from the south side before you get to the block with the company store. So the company store will be right up there closer to the top, and I'll point it out now. This is one of the few photos of number 2 I can find. It's not dated, so I don't know the year. I have a good idea on the time of year. On the ridge there, there's a little bit of snow left. That's where the wind blows and it drifts the snow. It takes longer to melt. So that would be spring. I'm going to guess probably the beginning of April or thereabouts. Again, this photo is not dated as well. There's a little bit of snow on the ground, so that narrows it down to 6 months in Wyoming. And what I like about it, it shows people kind of living a more normal life. And modern day, we can kind of relate to them. And then also, it was so different as well. And you had to be really tough to live at Cumberland, Wyoming in 1910. This is the Golden Rule JP Penneys store at Cumberland. And it's kind of hard to believe that Cumberland would be big enough to have a JP Penneys. Well, this is the second store after the Kemmer store. And we have to remember that both mining camps 1 and 2 had about 350 people each, plus the other camps in the area. There was about 1,000 people living at Cumberland at the time, and it was one of the bigger mine camps in Wyoming. I like using maps because it helps show where things are and where things were. On this, this is the active Cumberland branch. It goes off the main line there west of Kemmer, and you can see all the tracks around the Kemmer area. This is open waterway map. It's an overlay of active and abandoned railroad tracks. The dotted line there runs mostly parallel to the highway is the abandoned portion of the branch line and the subject matter of these videos. And here is end of track at Cumberland Gap, Wyoming, on the border with Uintah County. This is the catalyst for the whole thing. I remember the branch line went further south, clear down to Cumberland Gap. Well, why? Well, there was coal mines there. Okay, how many coal mines? Okay, they had 3 big ones, several smaller ones. Well, if there was mines down there, people had to live in that area. Okay, there were 4 mining camps. Okay, where were they located? What was their lives like? If we step back 100 years, would we recognize it? These are some of the questions that was in my head. I started this lost and forgotten thing because, some of these areas are lost and forgotten, but there's a link to modern day. It's 2025 and the open pit mine is still open. There's layoffs. It is going to close. Nothing lasts forever. I'm not going to get into the politics of it. People do need to understand it is going to close. But there was coal mines out there 100 years ago. And they closed, and they probably didn't know if there'll be a big open pit in the future. So, things repeat themselves. That was the town site at Cumberland No. 2. I was kind of disappointed with it. Comparing it to number 1, number 1 is a lot easier to see the streets. You can actually drive on the street still if you have a high clearance 4-wheel drive. And it's easier to understand, hey, there was a town here. Number 2, you can't really see the streets. You can't drive on them. There's a lot of tin and stuff, so you can understand something was there. But, comparing the two, always disappointed with it. Number 2, mine was better than number 1, but, that's a different story. And I did find the South Mine at number 2, and that was labeled as Cumberland number 25 on some maps for some reason. And I also found some more old photographs. And that'll be next week's video. Thank you for watching. Until next time.